Good evening, everybody. Good to see all you checking in tonight. It is nice outside. I'm going to talk a little bit about the weather going on in other parts of the country. They've got snow in Wyoming. They've got tornadoes from Nebraska into Iowa. And there's one really significant supercell there moving in through Iowa that actually picks up on the mosaic radar. You know it's bad when that happens. A lot of comments. Fort Payne's checking in tonight. Adam, good to see you again tonight. And again, it's a really nice night out there. The challenge continues to be the pollen count, and I could really taste it in the air tonight. In fact, I had to get even more water. So let's take a look at what we've got going on. Again, thanks for tuning in. Haleyville checking in tonight too. Again, it's always good to see familiar faces out there checking in, and even people that aren't even in our viewing area. That's one thing that social media helps us do, is expand our horizon. And we cover a lot of areas, especially when it comes to social media. The Shoals looking pretty quiet tonight, 69 degrees. I think some of you will stay in the 60s overnight tonight, and a really nice day tomorrow. And it's Friday, so make sure you're taking care of yourselves with this pollen count out there, because you don't want to be down for this weekend. It's going to be a good weekend, down and out. 7 o'clock in the morning, it'll be around 59 degrees. Here's where we stand right now. Notice the higher temperatures out west. Some of that has to do with, the sunset later, but not that much later. Memphis is just a larger city. They've got more humidity out there, a few more clouds, and that's what's keeping the temperatures up, and we will see that into the weekend. So our evening temperatures around 9:30. What we're going to see there is, with the humidity, temperatures will be about 70 degrees most evenings. Yeah, Adam mentioned doing a controlled burn over here, Little River. Yeah, it is smoky. I noticed on the visible satellite you could see the smoke, little streaks of smoke. And the reason they do the controlled burns this time of year, the prescribed burns, is because they can't do it in the summer. Because what happens in the summer, you get high pressure, and it's a real consistent high pressure, and it traps the air. And that's what leads to air quality issues. Birmingham being the big city it is, I know officially Huntsville is supposedly larger, but you count the entire metropolitan area of Birmingham, and it's quite a bit larger than the North Alabama area of Huntsville. But again, what are numbers, right? It's all in the statistics. But the reason they do that is because we still have cold fronts coming through this time of year. You get to a certain point, late June and into early July, we don't get any cold fronts to come through. So there's nothing to clean out the air, at least naturally, with cold fronts. And a lot of times, high pressure, it's just like a dome. It just traps the air. So you get high-level ozone at the surface, and you get all sorts of issues. Take a look at what's going on out west. We've got snow in Rapid City. It's been snowing there most of the day. And we had temperatures in the near 90 degrees. In fact, 94 degrees earlier today in Great Bend, Kansas. They're still at 78. And there's a distinct boundary there, and that's where the severe thunderstorms are firing tonight. You can see on the satellite, we've got two areas, one up into Wisconsin, the other one moving into through Iowa, and then the snow out west. Let's take a look at the severe weather right now. Again, tornado watch, and there's looks like two supercells. In fact, let me look at my the actual radar here in my hand. Again, what you see here is a composite. Basically, every 5 minutes, all the NEXRADs in the country get combined into one image, and that's what we see. So we've had, again, several tornadoes out there. This northern storm has a severe thunderstorm warning. It's producing large hail, but both of these are supercell storms. One of them has a tornado warning on it, and that's going to be in the southwest corner there of Iowa. This after several tornadoes clustered and touched down in and around Omaha. And this is typical for this time of year, as we usually see a shift. Here's the snow. Most of Iowa covered in snow, and it's cold out there. I will never forget my drive across Iowa in my parents' minivan. It's when I moved to Salt Lake City. That was my first job, by the way, out of college. My first actual job was mowing lawns. My second job was flipping burgers at McDonald's. Both of those lasted about 6 months. But just the drive as you get out there from Cheyenne, there's nothing there. Rock City, I think, is along the way. And there's a lot of rock out there in Wyoming. So again, that was my memory of Wyoming. And I believe, trying to remember the way it was in Arizona. When I went to pick up the Mach 1, I picked it up in Arizona. I actually won the Mach 1. I won it. I paid for it on eBay. I won an auction way back about 7-8 years ago. We do have some high clouds out there right now, but that's kind of it. There's no rain, and we're kind of in a transformation here of the boundary. As we go through the 3-day forecast, 82 tomorrow, really nice. Morning low around 56, but I mentioned a lot of you will probably wake up around 60 already. Then 84 Saturday. Don't be surprised if these forecast numbers underperform. We're probably going to be looking at 84, 85, maybe 86. And then the Sunday rain chance, we're going to talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. Going to take a quick commercial break. This lasts a minute. Some of you just see a slate of information. Others, I think if you're on the app, you actually see a commercial. But again, this lasts for 60 seconds. I'll be right back. We'll talk about your Easter forecast and an update on those rain chances. All right, everybody, we put the comments back on. At least we've got a countdown on that thing. So now, again, some people see an actual commercial during that. Others just see the still frame. And we thank our folks at Broadway Theater League for bringing that slate to you. But it'd be nice. I think we're working on a situation where we can actually run different commercials. But, you know, in the age of social media, commercials need to be like 15 seconds each, maybe back to back to back. Ray says, it looks like we have skipped spring and gone right to summer. It's definitely warming up out there, and it's when your air conditioner kind of cycles through. It's like, okay, what do you want me to do today? You want me to cool the house? You want me to warm it up? So we kind of start off with needing some heat, but I think we're beyond that. We're about ready to get into just no looking back. We're going to have a blackberry winter. We always do. We just don't know how bad it's going to be this year. I don't think we'll see another frost, though. So Huntsville's checking in tonight, too. Got people on. Yeah, the smoke's bad where we live, close to the National Preserve. Yeah. Again, if you missed it earlier, a lot of burning going on. They do it this time of year because the fronts are still coming through. Jameson Barber, my buddy Jameson, in the house tonight and from the Priceville area. Jameson's going to be out mowing lawns or working in the field. I think he was always riding the tractor. I can't remember. I think he started a landscaping business, maybe. I'm sure he'll chime back in later with that. I tell you what, we're going to get back to this forecast, and we're going to be talking about the weather for the weekend. Weekend is almost here, and with that, more pollen. How about that? Aniston's checking in tonight. Yeah, cold weather's going to lose the battle. But we've got the juniper, the sycamore, and the sycamore, you get it almost is like a cottonwood tree. I had a lot of sycamore trees in my backyard at my old house, and it just looked like it was snowing out there sometimes. Okay, Jameson says, no, he's just farming now. Well, hopefully we get good farming weather for you, Jameson. Here's the rain on the roof forecast. Farmers are going to need some rain, and we're going to start getting chances for rain. And this is a pretty critical time of year to get rain. One thing about our soil here is, man, when we get like dry weather for a week, it starts cracking already because of this clay composite in there. So that's how we've started getting more and more of these flash droughts the last couple of years. So hopefully we're not going to get in that situation. The added humidity will help. We're going to have more humidity this weekend, and we need to talk about this Sunday chance of rain, and we're going to get to that in just a second. Easter Sunday, sunrise again, if you missed it early in the week, 6:08. In the morning, it's going to be warm and muggy. It's going to be cloudy, And clouds, I've taken photos of my car during cloudy days, and they always seem to turn out better. So maybe better weather for cloudy. And night rain, good sleeping weather. So we've got 83 for the high Easter Sunday. It'll be muggy, mostly cloudy. May get some filtered sunshine, and that means the clouds may thin out a little bit as we go into the day. Here is the change today. You'll notice by 12:30 Sunday, we get a break in the clouds, but early on in the forecast models this week, they had showers and storms already in Memphis at 12:30, and then right along the state line around 5:30 in the afternoon, and that's been a big change. And if the models continue with this, we're going to have to probably take the chance of rain out of the forecast for Sunday altogether. Sean Chapman, good evening, buddy. And as we go through the evening and overnight hours Sunday, we're still looking at this transition eventually. But what this is telling me is this area high pressure is probably going to hold on a little bit longer, and I don't think anybody will complain because we're going to get some rain next week. Here's your 10-day forecast. We're looking at 82 tomorrow, 84 Saturday, Easter Sunday, 83 degrees. Price of eggs may be coming down just in time, right? I made a big quiche tonight. Speaking of using a lot of eggs, that was 7 eggs in there. I think that was up to $50. Nah, I'm just kidding. I hadn't seen any comments yet on my wonderful quiche. I've got breakfast for the next 4 days. Again, it's crustless quiche. I started using that a lot when I was on keto, and I've been taking some selfies, and I think I need to go back on keto. So we're going to hopefully go down that road if I can stay away from the chocolate Easter bunnies this weekend. End of next week, more scattered showers and more thunderstorms, but nothing really overall severe. I don't see any organized threats for severe weather, just your typical run-of-the-mill general thunderstorms. Now, some could get a little out of hand every now and then, but we'll just have to wait and see, and that pattern continues into next weekend. I appreciate you guys' comments. I appreciate you tuning in. I'll be back here tomorrow night at 9:30. Got to get ready for that 10 o'clock news.